77 WABC.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot.
We've got the holiday spirit right here on the Bernie and Sid Show. Welcome back, folks, to the Bernie and Sid Show right here on legendary 77 WABC in the holiday mood today. What's going on with the microphone here, Crash? There we go. Nope, no good. No.
It's your
I think
headphones.
it's these headphones. You got to give me different headphones, Flipper.
Okay.
So you take over for now, Bernard.
Hey, yes, listen, we had a great event last night at the New York Yankees Steakhouse. And all the luminaries were there. Very successful.
There's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well.
Hey, by the way, joining us next hour, we have this comedian, this guy, Ralphie May.
This one's no good either.
He is hilarious, this guy. Big dude. Big guy. Ralphie May. And let's see, Donald Trump today, he's meeting with he's having dinner with Mitt Romney.
Yes, he is, a second meeting. But just getting right back to what you started the show with, talking about last night's event. I do want to talk about that for a second before we break into Donald Trump and Ralphie May live in studio next hour. It was a great event, Bernard. I got to give Leslie Slender, our promotions chief, a lot of credit. All the folks in sales, from Glenn Tachinelli to Anthony Campbell to all of them, really did a terrific job. And all of the celebrities that showed up last night. Your friend, you're going to be on Fox News tonight, actually, your weekly appearance, your Tuesday night appearance on the Bill O'Reilly Show, Bernard. You're always great with that. And your co-worker there, your friend Kimberly Guilfoyle, could not have been nicer last night. Looked great, came with her friend Nick Loeb. You look great.
She's a doll. Very nice lady.
Very nice. She was very nice, everybody. Chaz Palminteri literally walked 3 blocks from his Broadway show with Robert De Niro to be there last night. He was great. Former Dolphin and Jet quarterback Jay Fiedler, he was great. Curtis Sliwa, Bo Dietl.
Rob
Bartlett was terrific. Gilbert Gottfried tore the house down the end of the night. He was hilarious, bro. All of them. And if I'm forgetting anybody, please forgive me. All the fans that showed up last night, all my close buddies, guys like Jonathan Siegel, Frank Colley, all those guys, David Jurist. They were all terrific last night. The Steakhouse did a wonderful job. It really was, for all the back and forth on the Imus show and all the fun we had leading up to this event, it went off. It was fantastic. It really was. It was great.
Congratulations.
They're already planning the next one. How about that?
Absolutely. As they should.
Yeah.
And the sales department did a great job, right?
Great job. The sales department.
Glenn, all those guys?
Well, Glenn and Anthony and Hedda was there last night. And Rob, your friends, the back brace people.
Yes. Oh, Rosalie and Darius.
Right. And their daughter, lovely people. In
Elizabeth,
fact, they sat at our table. And Danielle, my beautiful wife, had a chance to talk to them. And also, I do want to thank one of our best listeners. Her and I had it out pretty good during the whole election. She was on your side with Donald Trump. Judy from Brooklyn showed up last night, and she was terrific and actually bought gifts. Got you and I cufflinks and some beautiful custom jewelry for Flipper.
Yes, I got a beautiful pair of cufflinks.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
yes,
Judy.
that was very sweet of you.
Very sweet.
You had an order, by the way, but thank you.
Very nice. And she had some, good conversation. Rob Bartlett was great last night. It was really it was a great event. People made friends who didn't know each other last night, and because they all have this in common. They love Bernie and Sid. They like Imus, all that stuff. So, all in all, it was a smashing success. It really was.
A lot of love. For Sydney. A lot of love for Sid Rosenberg.
Holiday season. It felt very holiday-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And even some celebs that said they could only stay for a half hour or so ended up staying around for a couple of hours. So it worked out really, really well.
Any fist fights?
Just one. Guilfoyle and Sliwa nearly went at it.
Uh-huh.
3 of us are on stage early in the show. I bring Kimberly up, and, I'm not talking nice to her. You and I met years ago when you did Court TV with Vinny Napolitan, when I was on with you guys and Catherine Cryer, blah, blah, blah. Got into her, how she got to Fox News, talked about her being behind Trump beating Clinton, and up comes Curtis, the great Curtis. And he starts yelling and screaming all those Italian words, faccia brutta, disgrace. Yeah. And talking about how disloyal Donald Trump is. In the meantime, Kimberly's there with her friend Nick Loeb, who's like part of the Trump transition team. And he's going on and on about how disloyal Trump is because Trump's number one fan, besides you, Rudy Giuliani, he ain't getting a job.
This is what Curtis is saying last
Yes,
night?
at Kimberly. And Kimberly was like, well.
Is this on microphone?
Yes, we had 3 stools,
Oh, I see.
a stage set up
see.
with 3 stools and 3 microphones. In other words, every single guest that showed up last night got up on stage with me, and we did like a 5 to 10 minute interview with each and every one of them. All of them.
Right. So Curtis is trying to stir the pot.
Yes.
Is that before or after he tried to hump her leg?
He's trying to poke my girl.
Right.
And
she was too cool, though. She
didn't want to take the bait.
Nah, she
Come
didn't
on.
care.
Listen, please, I'm begging you, Curtis.
Yeah, she was cool. But he was fun, too.
We love Curtis. No, listen, thanks, gratitude, all the gratitude for him for showing up.
No, the fans, when he walks in the room, everybody's like, Curtis. You know, he's easy to point out, obviously.
He's a New York icon.
Red beret and the red jacket. You know, it's Curtis.
But you're not going to get Kimberly
No.
to take the bait.
No, not her.
It was a night for a good time.
Right, and that's how she showed up, and that's how she left. She was really terrific, really great. You'll see her tonight probably on the in the green room, right?
Yeah.
She does the thing with Lisa Wheel, and then you go with Gutfeld.
Just before us. Normally.
Right.
Who the hell knows?
You know what you're talking about yet tonight?
I do not. No. Well, I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Somali refugees.
It's very possible.
You and Donald Trump were lockstep the whole way with Somali refugees.
Come on. The Syrian refugees, Somali refugees, Muslim immigration in general.
Yes.
We got to do something until we know what the hell is going on.
Right.
I mean, listen, now, to be serious, everybody's focusing today. Nobody wants to focus on the things Mr. Trump said during the campaign, which in retrospect turned out to be quite prescient, I would say.
Yes.
You would agree, right?
I would agree.
And again, one life is too many. I know the majority of refugees or immigrants, probably good people, but I mean, if you're going to have a certain percentage that are going to come here, not assimilate, going to hate our guts, not be grateful for the privilege of coming into this country and saving your lives, I mean, the hell with them. And it seems that's the so yes, Somali refugee. Hey,
this guy was a pretty lousy terrorist. So if you're about to pull off a terrorist attack, I know some person is in critical condition, so God help them. But if you're about to pull off a terrorist
stop
attack,
right there.
No. But if you're the only person that dies and you're the terrorist, you haven't done a very good job.
Yeah, but of course he was an 18-year-old loser. But that's the point.
Right.
I mean. Look at you. We had. Well, that's just the point. You just had.
No, because we've had guys like Mateen who took a gun. This is where the whole gun control talk comes into play, because initially people thought he had the gun. They're talking about gun control. He never had a gun. He knifed people instead, but it didn't matter because as soon as they heard terrorist Ohio State campus, the gun control argument started again. He never had a gun.
And here's what this idiot, this abject idiot who was running with Hillary Clinton, and thank God she lost because she wanted to up the number of Syrian refugees by 650% from what Obama was proposing, or what he was already has in place. What's going to happen, which may not happen when Trump takes office. Anyway, this is what Senator Tim Kaine tweets out yesterday at about noon during this in the wake of this terror attack. Deeply saddened by the senseless act of gun violence at Ohio State this morning. Praying for the injured, et cetera, et cetera. Gun violence. See, this is what they want to focus on. They turn a blind eye. They're so stupid.
Yeah.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Syrian refugees and now it's Somali refugees. They just sentenced 4 guys 2 weeks ago in Minneapolis.
Yep.
There's a big problem out there with there's too high a percentage of these people that are going to come here and they're going to flip on us and they're going to want to kill us. And it's happened before. It's happened with, if not the immigrants themselves, their offspring, as we saw with the kid down in Florida.
Omar Mateen.
We saw the Boston bombers were refugees themselves.
The couple from California.
So Trump is really making. Listen to him talking last summer about Somali refugees. By the way, there's a big enclave in Portland, Maine, Columbus, Ohio, which is where this attack took place.
And Minnesota. Don't forget
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right. The guy that pulled off that thing at the mall was a Somali refugee as well.
That's right. And so anyway, listen to Donald Trump from last summer.
So we've just seen many, many crimes getting worse all the time. And as Maine knows, a major destination for Somali refugees and creating a rich pool of potential recruiting targets for Islamist terror groups. It's happening. It's happening.
It's happening.
You see it happening. You read about it. There's no way of vetting. This could be the great Trojan horse of all time.
So sadly, we have 13 kids who just came back from Thanksgiving break, and they all stabbed.
Yeah.
A car ran into them. They get stabbed by this animal.
Oh, it's terrible.
And here you have the president-elect now, back in the campaign, predicting that it would happen.
Oh, he's rugging
and they're focusing on his stupid tweets.
I know.
I mean, the guy's trying to save your life.
But even Imus this morning was like, enough already with the tweets. I mean, they could be mutually exclusive. He can be right about a bunch of things, which he has been. We all admit that. But he could still be acting like a very sophomoric with the tweets. It could be both.
That's possible.
That's the answer.
If this is what all I would say is get used to it, because he's gonna bypass the traditional media, which treated him like garbage.
Yeah.
They're dishonest scum.
It wouldn't have mattered. But it wouldn't have mattered. He doesn't tweet because the media treated him like garbage. He tweets because he's a psycho. And now he's got an excuse.
He's a psycho that's going to save lives.
Well, let's hope so.
1-800-848-9222.
And before we break for the first time today, I saw David Juris last night, who loves you, obviously, and I
great man. What a man.
Such a great guy, and his wife. He reminded me
Alice.
Yes, Alice. He reminded me that Ralph Branca, the great Brooklyn Dodger player, he gave up the home run to Bobby Thompson, Dodgers Giants, the shot heard round the world, maybe the most famous home run in the history of baseball. He died last week. He's being buried today. And in fact, Juris is on the way to the funeral right now up in Westchester. Wanted to let people know that Branco was a guy that raised a lot of money, very charitable for veterans. A lot of the money that he earned over the years, he actually gave to guys that came home who had no jobs, no lives, what Trump talks about all the time. So Juris just wanted people to know that Ralph Branca is being buried today, and he was a really, really good soul and a great New Yorker.
I understand he wants to be buried with his Make America Great Again hat.
That's exactly right. Who doesn't?
By the way, we want to thank Bo Dietl last night also.
Him, too, was fantastic.
The Bowman. The next mayor.
They went nuts for him last night.
Yes.
They went nuts. He did a really, really good job.
Another New York icon.
We got tons of them. And again, Ralphie May coming in today, New York guy. Arthur Aidala, the great attorney, coming in tomorrow. He's running for public office.
Ralphie May is in Arkansas.
Actually, he's from Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Well, he was born in Tennessee, grew up in Arkansas.
Right. He's anything but a New York guy.
You said New York guy, right?
Yeah, obviously. He's anything but New York, Ralphie May.
But he's funny.
Very funny.
And we have one more person that I just booked coming in Thursday at 11, Ariana Huffington.
Is that right?
Yes.
You mean Zsa
Yes.
Huffington?
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Okay.
Huffington Post.
Hey, listen, you know what she has out? She's actually into sleep.
Be nice to her.
No, I am going to be nice.
I hope she's not listening.
I know her. I've met her before.
You know everybody.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Okay, so I'm going to be. What am I, an animal?
Sometimes. Sometimes never coming back.
We're back after this.
77 W.
There you have it, the mellifluous voice of Chaz, the actor Palminteri.
That great musical Bronx. By the way, he's going to be in with us coming on Monday in the 11 o'clock hour, right here, live on the Bernie and Sid show.
On Monday, you said?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Great guy.
We were talking about this attack at Ohio State University yesterday, and of course it was a Somali Muslim refugee that we opened our arms to this guy, let him into this country, and this is the thanks we get.
He came here in 2014 and went right to Ohio State?
Let me tell you, suckers no more.
No, not us.
Suckers no more.
No more.
This ends. This is
over. No, it's over.
And then you had this hero cop, this kid, this 28-year-old
kid.
kid.
What a hero cop. Stop. I mean, he killed a terrorist. That makes it somewhat heroic. But if he had the knife and the other guy had the gun and he killed the guy, he actually drove up in his cop car, got out of the car, and shot the guy.
He saved lives.
I guess, right. Yeah,
what is
he got out of his car and shot the guy.
Why don't you just say yes, he was a hero cop?
He did a great job.
What's wrong with you?
If he had the knife and the other guy had the gun and he had to wrestle the guy to the floor, that's one thing. I mean, come on.
And he would have.
He pulled up in the car, got out of the car, and shot the guy.
And he would have. If he had no gun, he would. If he had just armed with a nightstick, he would have still put himself between the terrorist and the victims.
I don't know that. I know he did his job. He saved lives. That's great. But let's slow down with the hero cop. The guy had a butter knife. He came out with a gun and shot the guy. He did his job. Give me a break.
Steve from Brooklyn. Let me help Sid out here. Let me go to Steve from Brooklyn.
I think I must agree with me today, too, by the way.
Not on that.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, how you guys doing? Listen,
Good.
I was reading CNN online yesterday, and I had to write down the headlines because they're so out of touch with us. Searching for motive in OSU attack. Man, how stupid do they think we all are?
Searching for motive, right? Go ahead.
Searching for motive in OSU attack. This is the headlines that they showed on CNN.
Right.
Most people, look, we don't know 100% yet, but I mean, come on, 99% sure that this was a terrorist attack?
I would say 100%, 1,000% sure it was a terrorist attack. And again, we opened our arms. We're not going to be the stupid losers anymore.
What are they waiting
not
for?
Be.
Are they checking his computer to see if he, was in touch with people on Facebook or ISIS?
He posted some crap, some Al-Awlaki thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sick and tired of seeing my fellow Muslim brothers and sisters being killed and tortured everywhere. He posted just prior to the screw this animal and screw this policy. That's what I say. One dead American is too many. 1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid back after Nome at the News.
From the Nouveau Fat Loss Studios, 77 WABC, New York News Now.
Thrown behind bars for flag burning, 55 raining. Here's
Right back here on the Bernie and Sid Show on 77 WABC. As Sid basks in the glow of a
big night,
a triumphant night.
Yes,
at the New York Yankees Steakhouse with all the luminaries.
It was a major success.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
To WABC.
Yeah, ABC did a great job, from Leslie Slender to the whole sales staff, and again, all of the luminaries, the celebrities that showed up last night, from Kimberly Guilfoyle to Chaz Palminteri to Bo Dietl to Curtis Sliwa to Jay Fiedler to Gilbert Gottfried, and if I'm missing anybody, I apologize, but even the kid, Nick Loeb, a friend of Kimberly, just an amazing night. The guests were terrific.
You mean the actor?
Yeah.
Nick Loeb was he the guy who was dating Sofia Vergara?
Engaged.
In fact, they put together some eggs.
That's exactly right.
The eggs are on ice. And
yes.
They're in court fighting over the eggs.
They're on ice as well. That's right.
Sophia wants the eggs to be destroyed.
Right.
And Nick says, no, I want to keep the eggs because I might want to use. And she's like, get lost.
Yeah, basically, that's him. He's a very colorful guy. He actually ran for office down he lives in Delray some of the time. He lives in Spain, lives in New York. But anyway, I actually was endorsing the lady running against him and put her on my radio show a couple of times down in South Florida. So I had no idea that was the same Nick we're talking about. But it is. He's all of those things.
He's got a product. I don't know what the hell it is.
Made him big money, though, right?
Yes.
Big money.
Big bucks. And apparently the thing that broke him up with Sofia Vergara is he was pushing his product one night in a very cheesy manner, according to the accounts.
Okay.
I'll look it up. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean by cheesy? He was like, he was groping somebody?
Yeah, he was just like handing it out. It's like, nobody wants your stupid junk. I don't know what it is. I have to look it up.
I found him to be a very, very nice guy, a very engaging and pleasant guy. I never met him before last night, but I found him to be very, very nice.
And he was there with Kimberly Guilfoyle.
And her assistant, Kyle Nolan, excuse me, yes. Three of them came together. Good-looking crew.
Okay, so yeah, they have the embryos on ice.
Right.
And he is, he's an American businessman. Oh, he's a son, so he inherited all this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the lottery, this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He got it made.
All right.
He's got it made.
And, well, God bless,
He's not on the Q train. 10 to 4.
No, nor has he ever been. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, Catherine from Bergen County, New Jersey. You are on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning, Catherine.
Hi, I just wanted to bring this home to Sid.
Yeah.
Let's say he's in the studio. His daughter's at Ohio State.
Right.
And we've got this guy with a knife. He's knifing kids as they go by.
Right.
And the security guy shows up just as this guy grabs your daughter and puts a knife to her throat.
Okay.
And this guy wants to go down as a real hero.
Right.
I mean, does that change how you feel about whether he should have shot him or not?
No. I wanted the guy to, you're missing my point. He did his job. He deserves a thank you. He should have shot the guy. Absolutely. You should shoot every terrorist. My point is, when you pull up with a guy who's got a knife and you've got a gun, he did his job. I thank him for that. He killed a terrorist. But to me, the guy that runs up a building that's burning, that's falling down, that's a hero. The guy that's got a knife going up against a gun, that's a hero. This guy pulled up, the guy had a knife, he shot him, he did his job. Thank you. That makes him a hero?
Yes.
And yes, if it's my daughter, if you want to personalize it, of course I'm going to say he's a hero.
That's how you have to gauge it.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't personalize every story.
He saved somebody's daughter.
Okay.
That's how you have to look at it. You have to. There's no two ways about it. This kid was a hero. I mean, he could have missed.
Listen, I'm not gonna argue because he saved lives. If you want to call him a hero, I'm not gonna argue about it. That's great. He did save lives. He did his job. It's just that I guess for me, there are different stages of heroism. And pulling up in a car when a guy's got a butter knife and shooting him is a different story.
Got your point, but we beg to disagree. If it was my daughter, if it was any of those parents of the kids, the 13 kids that was stabbed,
right,
who could have been stabbed again, or any kid that wasn't stabbed that was going to be stabbed, he's a hero, and that's the barometer by which you go, because otherwise you're being selfish, I think. Now listen, the dictionary.com, this snotty outfit, they named xenophobia the word of the year, which is clearly a dig at Donald Trump.
Why is that?
Because of his rhetoric about Muslim refugees and, of course, Mexican illegal immigrants. But as far as the Muslim refugee problem, in retrospect now, you look at an attack like yesterday and what he said about the Somali refugees and how it's going to be a problem.
Right.
It's not quite xenophobic. It's actually, it's not a fear of foreigners. It's a fear of getting stabbed or getting killed or getting blown up or something like that. It's actually legitimate. It's not some wacky thing.
Well, it doesn't mean it's legitimate either. There's levels of paranoia and there's levels of realism. Listen, Donald Trump makes a valid point, and obviously yesterday kind of brings it home. But do I think throughout the campaign that they would spread paranoia? 1,000%. They exaggerate. They make it crazy. They make it seem like everybody's coming here to kill us, and that's not the case either. It's somewhere in between.
Yeah, right. You're right about that. It's not everybody's not coming here to kill us, but there's too high a percentage of the people that we're letting in that do want to kill us, and of those people, there's a certain group that we know has a real high percentage that we can't allow in because one death is too many, especially if it's your family.
Oh, he won, though, so you don't have to worry about promoting what he believes. So he won, so you know what? Like we saw in Minnesota with the Somali refugee, like we saw yesterday in Columbus, Ohio with the Somali refugee, Donald Trump talked a big game. He's right. We've already seen 2 incidents with 2 of those people. Now do something about it. He won, so it's not a matter of whether his policy is right or not. He gets a chance to implement whatever he said now.
So when a bunch of know-it-all snot-noses like Dictionary.com comes out with xenophobia as the word of the year before an attack like this happens, they need to be called out on it.
Fair.
Hey, Rich from Melville, New York. Melville, Long Island. Rich, you are on with Bernie and Sid. Good morning, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
Good morning, fellas. I really appreciate both of you guys.
Thank you.
Intelligent, you stimulate thought, and it's fun listening to you both. But
Thank
Sid,
you.
sometimes you piss me off.
All right.
Sid, this cop that shot this piece of garbage.
Right.
Calzone, come on. This cop who shot this piece of garbage, why can't he also be a hero along with the fireman who saves people?
He could be. If you want to deem him a hero, like I said, he killed a terrorist. So I don't want to diminish what this guy did yesterday, and he did save lives. So if you want to make him a hero, I'm not going to argue with you. I just think there are different levels of heroism. When a guy's got a knife and you've got a gun, you're going to win that fight 10 out of 10 times.
Absolutely, but he's still a hero because he definitely potentially saved lives.
Fair enough. Then I stand corrected, and you win.
I'm not looking to win.
No, I'm being serious. If that's the case, I look at it like when I see a guy going through a situation where he has a lesser chance of getting something done and pulls it off. To me, that's more of a hero than a guy that's got a huge advantage and basically does his job.
Okay, so maybe he's more than a hero, but he's still a hero.
You know what? I agree. You guys sold me. I'm done.
All right, thanks.
Thanks,
Rich. Hey, say hi to Calzone for us, all right?
No, man.
Give her a bone or something. That's his dog.
Is that right?
He was telling Calzone to...
that's a great name for a dog, isn't it?
Calzone, shut up.
Great name for a dog.
Only a New York dog.
Yeah, that's right. You'll never hear Calzone anyplace else, anywhere.
Keep that dog away from Ralphie May.
Oh, that could be lunch.
Hey, give me Calzone over here.
What happens if Ralphie May walks in? He's like Al Roker, and he lost like 600 pounds.
Well, listen, of the clips that I saw of him, recent clips.
How recent?
Months. Weeks even. Okay, weeks. And how big was he? How many pounds would you say? I mean, like I said, he makes Crash look like Anderson Cooper, for God's sakes. He is huge, and he's unapologetic. I mean, he's right out. Listen, this is one of the most politically incorrect dudes out there. Right. So I'm sure he doesn't mind when we talk about his weight. No. That's part of his act. Because like you said.
We talking me or him?
Both of you.
Fat guys are funny.
Fat guys are funny.
They're
Fat
hilarious.
guys are funny. Black guys are funny. And for the most part, fat black guys are really funny. Would you agree with that? Except for Cedric the Entertainer. He's just average.
Yeah, he's kind of weak. He's weak. No, I agree with you. But Ralphie May, we're speaking of a comedian, Ralphie May, who's coming in the next hour. Again, politically incorrect guy. He's going to make you laugh.
You see, when you take a woman who's really pretty, she's on television, she's a big-time actress, she cuts her hair. She loses about 80% of her appeal right there.
Like the actress from Big Bang Theory.
There's one. Nev Campbell's another. The girl from Felicity, she's another.
Megyn Kelly.
She looks good with short hair. But still not as good. Mm-hmm. Same thing with a fat person. You take a fat person who's jolly and funny, you lose some weight.
Without a doubt.
You're done.
Yep. Look at Frank Caliendo. He just isn't the same.
Not the same. Al Roker. He used to be a fat, jolly, nice guy.
Now he's a surly schmuck who craps his pants.
What? He craps his pants?
Yes, in the White House.
What are you talking about?
He was. You didn't hear about this?
He farted and made his pants?
No, he sharted.
Yeah, well, that means you farted and then duty came out.
That's right.
Oh,
and
my God.
Not only
there
that.
He goes again with the duty.
Listen to this. He's in the White House. This happens to him.
How long ago was this?
This is about. He wrote about it in his book.
So it's documented
within the past year.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's well documented.
All right.
He does this in the White House. And it gets all of his underwear in the White House.
What?
This is true story.
Come on.
In the bathroom,
right?
He takes his underwear off and throws it in the garbage.
I've done that a million times. I swear to God.
How does that? I've never done that.
A million
times.
How
does that happen?
I used to buy a 16-pack of Bloomers at Marshall's in Boca Raton, and every time halfway to Pompano from Boca Raton, there was a Pakistani gas station, and I would have 1 cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'd be farting the whole way, and I'd go to the bathroom and leave my underwear in the garbage. But I had 16 pairs in my trunk. And Marshall's had a great sale.
And meanwhile, you're only 49 years old.
This when I was 35, I was doing this.
It only gets worse.
It does?
You're going to be wearing a diaper by the time you're 54.
On that note.
This is nasty.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that happened to Al Roker.
But I didn't do it in the Oval Office.
No, he wasn't in the Oval Office. He was in the White House.
And he wrote about he admitted that and wrote about it?
Where was? Did anybody hear it or see it or?
No, I don't think so.
Please tell me he was wearing white pants, right?
Just think of the poor the janitor afterwards. It's like, the hell is in this garbage here?
Right. Oh, Michelle, want to clean it up afterwards, right?
Barack, you never invite that man over here again.
Yeah. But to your point,
we can only hope it happens to Ralphie May next hour. We can only hope.
Surly son of a bitch who craps his pants. Stay fat, yo.
How about we come in early tomorrow morning, 4:30 for Imus, and there's Ralphie May's soiled underwear.
You know what? Jill usually leaves them in your office.
That's right.
You got Ralphie May's.
Look what I got you for Christmas.
Soiled drawers in your garbage can.
Just so you guys know, we will put up a picture right away at Bernie and Sid. Twitter fans out there, at Bernie and Sid, and on the Bernie and Sid Facebook page. So if you don't know who Ralphie May is and you can't Google him right now, you will be able to see the guy we're talking about.
And this guy, he's at some of the roasts. He roasted Cheech and Chong.
Well,
you know what? We'll Facebook Live it.
He's best friends with Jeffrey Ross, and Jeffrey Ross, of course, is the roast master. Early in their career, Ross and May always performed together.
To give you an idea of just how vicious and politically incorrect a guy like Ralphie May is, who will be here next hour on the Bernie and Sid show after this.
Show.
Guaranteed to be enormously successful.
It's about truth, the damn truth, New York's truth, the truth behind the BS. For New York, nothing at all in between. This is Bernard McGurk.
So Bernie.
This is Sid Rosenberg.
The one and only Sid.
Live, local, on it.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exclusively.
Bernie and Sid.
77 WABC.
I love going to the movies. That's why I love the theater so much. My favorite thing to do, I only get to do it like once a month. Just go see a black movie in a black movie theater. Oh, it's awesome. You'll get so much more out of your entertainment dollar at a black movie house than you will a white one. Oh, so much. By the commentary provided to you by the black folks around y'all. Because black people, you know y'all can't shut up in a movie theater. You know you can't. You know it. You know you can't be quiet. I mean, it's a little bit different. First of all, it smells a little bit like weed. I know, that's awesome, right? I know. You're like, damn, there's some good popcorn. Jesus, you had the corn?
The comedy stylings of one Ralphie May, very good friend of Jeffrey Ross, part of the Roast Masters, a brilliant stand-up comedian, and he's about to join Bernie and I momentarily. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Bernie and Sid Show here on 77 WABC. Spent most of the first hour talking about a very successful event that WABC, along with me, put on last night at NYY Steak in Midtown Manhattan, surrounded by lots of our favorite listeners and some big-time celebrities, and Donald Trump. And what he's doing the next couple of days, a very busy couple of days for Donald Trump.
He's having dinner today with Mitt Romney, second meeting. Hey, by the way, we're going to be Facebook Living this interview with Ralphie May.
All the time now with all of our guests moving forward?
I don't know.
Because we have a lot of cool guests in the studio.
Well, I just got a text. They're downstairs. Ralphie doesn't have his ID on him, so I'm going to go down there and see if I can bring him up.
So yeah, they won't let him in. It doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump. They are very stiff downstairs.
They want to take him around to the freight elevator.
So I'll be right back.
My boy is big.
That's a big boy. But we should do that for all of our guests, because in studio in the next couple of days, we've got everybody from Cyndi Lauper to Chaz Palminteri to Arthur Aidala to Ariana Huffington. We got some great guests in the next few days.
But what kind of, you forget your ID? What is this guy?
What is this guy? He's Stick Track Goyim. He's a big fat comedian. He's a what is this guy?
How do you forget your
leaving
ID?
here and going to a Mensa meeting? He probably forgot it at the salad line at Wendy's or something. Who the hell knows?
No, not the salad line. Not the salad line. Hey, Mike, have cut one ready here, would you please? Did you hear about this guy? Oh, yeah, so Donald Trump, of course, yes. Everybody's still obsessing over Trump.
Well, a lot of people, you talked about him meeting again, having dinner tonight with Mitt Romney, and a lot of loyalists, people like Kellyanne Conway, and I think Scaramucci, although I'm not 100% positive, are angry about this. They despise Mitt Romney. They don't get it. Now, you keep saying, and maybe you're right, this is Donald Trump trying to humiliate Mitt Romney, but if that's not the case, then what are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. The fact that they're having a private dinner is kind of weird, I think. But yes, you had Newt Gingrich yesterday saying he's what the word he used, he's a sleaze or something like that, whatever it was.
About Mitt?
Yeah, about something, whatever.
What do you mean a private dinner? Just those two guys, that's it tonight?
That's the information I have, yeah.
Wow.
Just those two guys at Trump Tower. And if I was Romney, I would employ a taste tester because, I don't think he would, sort of Putin Mitt Romney, but he might want to give him the runs. I
think it's the other extreme. I think Mitt Romney walks out tonight, Secretary of State.
You think so?
I think Trump really wants him. I think Trump believes that he's look, you've even admitted this yourself. Before he became Brutus and backstabbed Donald Trump a couple of months ago, and before he completely fell apart and imploded after that second debate against Obama, you admitted that for a time that you thought he'd be a great president.
I still think he'd make a great president.
So why wouldn't he be a good Secretary of State?
He may very well be a very good Secretary of State. Again, he has to pass that litmus test. Have you learned the lesson of Iraq? And you forsworn any attempt at regime change in the Middle East. Screw all that nonsense. He has to pass that test. But B, his managerial skills, he ran the Olympics, he was the governor of Massachusetts, all of that nonsense. He'd be a great Secretary of State. But the way he viciously attacked my boy,
but if your boy is willing to,
but it was personal.
I agree. But if your boy is willing to let bygones be bygones and offer him the most prestigious position in his cabinet, how are you going to hold a grudge? If Donald Trump's not.
I will not.
So you'll be fine with it.
Listen, in Trump, I trust.
Oh, you are. Geez.
I really do.
Oh,
whatever he does, and I'll let the results speak for themselves. Whatever happens, happens. It's his transition.
What if he makes a mistake? What if he takes over the presidency and he makes a mistake? Would you be willing to say?
Of course, I'll admit that he made a mistake, but I'm hoping he doesn't. I'm hopeful that he won't.
Right.
But everybody makes mistakes, whatever it is. He hired somebody yesterday, some congressman from Georgia, to be Price, who he's going to be the Health and Human Services Secretary.
Excellent pick.
You never heard of this guy before.
Had him right there. I made a list. I want you to know that of all my different choices. I had K.O. as my head of something or other. She got a job today.
Here's the thing. It doesn't bode well for Obamacare because this guy is a doctor.
He wants to get rid of it.
And he knows Obamacare. He wants to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's what that portends, that pick.
Although Donald Trump doesn't want to get rid of it necessarily. He likes some things about it. In other words,
here's the thing, though.
Trump's got the final call there, no?
CNN is before we jump the gun. CNN is reporting that Congressman Price likes to play squash with David Duke.
That's not true.
He has lots of Nazi memorabilia around his house. He's a half a Nazi and a KKK sympathizer.
Who do you think hates the media more, Donald Trump or you?
It can't.
Here's Ralphie
Can't
May.
hate him any more than I do.
No, you can't.
Hey, Ralphie May
Look at
is
this
in the
kid.
house.
Look at this kid.
Come on in, Ralphie.
How you doing, boys? Hey, it's been a couple of years from Florida, man. Good to see you guys. Ralphie, it's been a couple of years. Good to see you. All right, a little hellos here inside the studio. Ralphie's got his boys with him.
There he is. Ralphie May, the comedian. By the way, let's just say what he's doing first, because
he's got a big night coming up. Couple of nights.
Obviously, he's here to plug his thing. He's a good guy, no doubt about it.
A great guy.
Ralphie May is going to be at the Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
My man.
So you can buy tickets at, it says here, venue, thetheaterwestbury.com, or call 516-334-0800. Ralphie May tomorrow at the Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's been a few years. You were in my studio with Jeffrey Ross. You don't remember this, 2006 down in Florida, when you guys were still doing the roast together.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen you in a couple of years, so I said to Bernard, I said, is Ralphie still heavy,
Oh, yeah.
Or fat? And, you are, so.
Yes, I am still fat. I heard the lead-in, and I was like, wow, I never knew my fat had this much power. Oh, my God. You guys were stunned. It's like Fidel Castro died. Whoa, that Ralphie May is fat. It's like they're not even equal. Okay? It's like I've got so much gut power. I didn't know.
You heard us earlier, you saying?
Of course. I was listening on the way in.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, we love fat guys.
Yes.
I know.
You don't
Who
mind,
doesn't, man?
You don't mind when we use the word fat, because these days, everybody
is what it is.
All these snowflake crybabies,
God, they make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, don't they, right?
Oh, my God. People, it's like, you're fat. Stop your whining. Okay, right. What are you gravitationally challenged? I mean, Jesus, enough with this already.
And I
put in a lot of work to get this fat.
That's
you think this is easy?
And
this ain't easy.
A lot of enjoyment, I might add, as well.
Well, life, if not for the enjoyment, why live it?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So tell us this then. How much you weigh? Honestly, not a big deal, but how much you weigh?
440 pounds.
All right, that's not bad. 440.
Yeah, it's way bad.
So on an average day.
And you know what? I've lost a whole fat guy, and I'm still fat.
Okay, so
that's the
are you dieting now? Are you dieting now?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm a fat POS.
Right. So on an average day, what do you consume to get to that weight?
That's what's crazy about it is I don't really anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I don't eat a ton. I mean, you can ask Rick. Rick's on the bus.
Let me ask Rick. Rick, what does he eat on an average day on the bus? What does he
doesn't eat that much. Like yesterday, we brought some Benihana back to the restaurant.
You mean the whole restaurant?
Excuse me?
Oh, okay.
No. We brought some fried rice and some steak. He didn't even finish it.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
You know what I tell you, we used to work with this heavy guy back at FAN, Mike Francesa.
Yeah.
And
he was nothing like this guy.
No, but he was big. But and we were morning show, he was afternoon. And
is that the sports?
Yeah,
legend?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Mike Francesa.
Yeah, he's a sports legend.
He's a brilliant guy, good guy too, really good guy. But what I used to when I was leaving, I did the morning show. I was leaving. He would be coming in, and whenever he got out of his car, he'd be dumping all the McDonald's and whatnot.
Who knows?
Oh, hiding it.
Yeah, he would eat it on the way in, and then go down to the radio station and order lunch
and have a Diet Coke.
I gotta tell you, I'm a strong believer in that no food comes through a window. Like, you shouldn't eat anything that you get from a window.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I abide by that. With maybe once every couple of months, I don't do that, but I try to stay away from that. That's why I'm like A, alive. Okay, but B, I've got my blood pressure is normal. It's 124/62 on average. My cholesterol's 109. I don't have.
It's not a mistake here.
No, that's what doctors do. I'll go to a doctor. Okay, and the first nurse will come and take my blood pressure. Okay. And then a little bit, I'll sit there and I wait. And nobody says anything. And then somebody else comes in and takes my blood pressure. And then nobody says anything, and they just leave. And And then the doctor comes in and takes my blood pressure, and it's the same thing every time. They just don't believe it.
Right.
Okay, and so that's the way it is. I mean, it's like you get the presumption. Like, you want to see disappointment. Watch a cardiologist do a heart scan on me and go, my heart isn't fatty or enlarged, and then move the scan down to my liver and go, your liver's not fatty or enlarged either. Right. Why are you so fat?
You know why I believe that? Because we talk to a lot of fat guys, and this is serious, and just walking into the studio, by the time I sit there, they're like, they haven't talked yet, and they're like out of breath. You sound fine. You're not breathing heavy. You don't have any of those issues. So when you tell us about these medical conditions that work out well for you, I think it's true.
It is true. That's the thing about it. But and don't mind you, I'm a huffer puffer. I'm definitely a fat bastard out of shape. But,
when was the last time you ran a marathon?
I went to a Marathon gas station and got a hot dog when I was filling up one time. I'm not gonna lie about that. But as far as running one, no. I want to watch that Boston footage.
The last time you ran, period. I mean, you just you don't do anything, right?
A couple of years ago when I was doing Celebrity Fit Club, I got up to running. I caused myself to have horrible injuries because I was strong enough to run, but I was too heavy to be running on my joints.
Right.
So I have had to, from that show alone, I've had 8 surgeries.
Wow.
Because I didn't, everybody else on the show didn't have a career. All right, so they could quit when the body said to.
Sure.
I couldn't quit when the body said to because my fans are horrible and they'd be like, fatty, you couldn't do it. People, I get stuff all the time. Like, earlier this year, I saved a child's life in Spokane. You can read about it online. The child was choking, had a fever, had a seizure while eating, was choking. Well, I got to the child, the 4th person, when I finally said, give me the child, I'm trained, or I will punch you out.
Really?
All right, because the child was blue. I cleared his mouth, pulled his tongue out, and they were hitting the child on the back, which all it does is loosen and drop the food further down the windpipe. And so I got the child, the food out of the child, brought the child back to life.
Wow.
I realized the child was on fire, had a fever of 105, 106. And so I got the child all iced down, back of the neck, front of the neck, under the arms, chest, to cool the baby down. All before the paramedics came, okay? Now, one of my fans took a picture and sent it to TMZ, and all of it was Ralphie trying to eat the baby, okay? Did Ralphie pop the food out of the baby into his mouth, okay? It was just
all the things that just ran through my head.
Me too.
Exactly. So that's what everybody said.
Yeah.
At the same day, okay, Tim Tebow came from first class and preyed on a guy in economy over a man who had a heart attack. And he was blocking people from helping by praying over the head of this man as the flight attendants were at the other side of him trying to administer CPR.
Wow, he could have killed. He could have died.
He did die.
He did die.
Okay.
So are you blaming that on Tim Tebow?
I'm just saying, maybe if Tebow hadn't read Luke so many times and read a CPR manual, maybe that would have happened. You know, that guy, his heart ain't working, but his mind is. He can't talk. But he's like, hey, quit praying, breathe into my mouth. Breathe in my mouth.
And you're getting killed, and he's getting all the glory.
Killed, and he gets the Today Show.
That
Okay,
ain't right, man.
He gets the front
That
page
ain't right.
of Yahoo. I tell you, it's a fat conspiracy. They hate fatties.
It's this Ralphie May. He's going to be at the Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night. The hilarious Ralphie May tomorrow night.
We
at
need
8
a
p.m.
hero. We need a hero that is fat and wide.
Answer this first before we go to our first break, because you have to go to break. We've got news coming. You'll stick around to the end of the hour, hopefully. A lot of people that get to be your size, okay?
Yes.
Now, I know you're a wonderful guy, nice guy, but a lot of people get to be your size. Something happened to them. I don't know, maybe their uncle raped them, something like that. They can't stop eating. They're depressed. They're angry. What happened to you that you ate this much and got that big?
There's a number of things. That's a very good question, but it is a kind of a creepy one. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, really.
A little bit like a bummer. Hey, right before lunch. Hey, who banged you in your little Okay, it wasn't an uncle. That's weird. Okay, I got molested by a neighbor who drugged soda pop. Okay, and I was in the hospital. Yeah, it's true.
Come on, I was only kidding.
No, I'm not. Okay, it happened.
Bringing up the truth.
You did say.
Thanks for bringing up
Thank
molestation.
you, son of a bitch.
Jesus, what a rat bastard this guy is.
I tell you what, I'm
son of a bitch.
I'm severing this partnership.
Oh my God,
this
are you kidding me? Hey, can I get some? Gotta get some Prozac in here
right.
for someone to cry and a teddy bear.
It ain't right.
Where did the neighbor touch you?
Sid, give him a hug.
You son
Give
of
him
a
a hug,
bitch.
Sid. Give him a
I
hug.
don't want these creepy hugs.
Okay, stay away.
Probably's got half a bone.
Stay
I don't
away.
want that.
Like soda pop. I got soda pop for you.
Yeah, right. I got a soda pop.
Hey, how about this, Ralphie May? Listen, a lot of guys, big fat guys, are they're hilarious, funny guys,
Some
and
are.
then they lose weight. Like guys and they're not funny anymore. I mean,
what happens?
Like who?
Like Frank Caliendo, for example.
Oh, you're completely wrong. Frank Caliendo is still a genius.
But you see him though. He was
so
here.
funny.
He was here a couple of weeks ago. He's
Yeah.
very funny, very talented. But it's just not the same.
Even Al Roker. Al Roker was kind of funny.
Al Roker was never funny.
There's something
How was
morose.
It's going to rain in Phoenix funny?
Then he's
Stop.
not as happy and jolly as they
Well,
were when
he's
they were
not.
fat.
He's hungry.
That's it.
Okay?
That's what I'm saying.
He's a fat bastard that can't eat nothing. Okay? You want to make him happy, say, hey, Al, you can have fried chicken and greens. Okay? He's black. Everybody black loves that. Al, I'm fat and from the South.
Listen,
I love that.
Ralphie
Give me
May.
some greens.
Ralphie
some
May.
ham hocks. Shoot.
On the Bernie and Sid show, we have to take a break. He's going to be at the Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night. You get tickets at the venue, thetheaterwestbury.com, or call 516-334-0800. Ralphie May in studio with Bernie and Sid for the rest of the hour.
77 WABC. Traffic control.
All right, back here on the Bernie and Sid show, we've got Ralphie May. Before we get to Ralphie, Danielle's in the car, my wife, with her coworker Michelle Olsen, listening to the show right now, laughing their asses off with Ralphie May. And Michelle really wants one quick Bernard shout-out. Can you give... Come on. Give Michelle Olsen one quick shout-out with Danielle in the car.
Yo, Michelle, you know what it is, right, Michelle? You know what it is. Michelle, I see you, Michelle. What's poppin', baby? What's poppin'?
People eat
You can
better.
believe that. I love that, Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ralphie,
You been getting dating advice from the subway? That's awesome.
Listen, man, I grew up on the subway, bro.
Yeah, right.
Bronx, born and raised. BX.
Oh man, the boogie down. Okay,
You know
all
it.
right.
You know it, Ralphie.
I just know it from KRS-One. I've never gone there. It's dangerous.
No, it's
okay.
It's actually
dangerous.
a cool place. You should take the subway.
I'm white. I ain't going over there. Okay, I'm white. Stop.
Yo, listen.
I'm Manhattan.
Speaking of growing up, you grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And one of your best friends growing up was a good friend of yours. Was Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty Dugan. I got permission from his family to talk about him because I wouldn't do it beforehand. He had Down syndrome, although he never would call it Down syndrome. He's like, it's not a syndrome. I'm like this all the time. Okay?
Right.
Which he has a point, you know? And
right.
so when he was 5, he came out and we were like, what's the deal with the helmet? And he said he was retarded. And we're like, all right, whatever. I'm Methodist. Play first base. I didn't know what it meant. You know, I thought, hey, he's another kid.
Right.
Okay?
You were good friends.
Yeah, we were great friends. Yeah. And if I'm going to heaven or hell, it's all because of Rusty Dugan.
That's why.
Okay?
Yes.
If I'm going to hell, it's because I used to use his post-pubescent way of dealing with anxiety. He would just furiously masturbate like a chimpanzee.
Sure.
Okay? If he got anxious.
Right.
But he had a huge thing.
Penis,
okay,
huge
yes,
penis, huh?
yes,
Wow.
huge,
Whoa. Right.
11.5 inches.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
flaccid or hard?
That was hard, okay? And we had him measure it. He's like, look, it's almost at the end of the ruler, okay? All right? And this is the truth, okay? And so what he would do is, if he got anxious in class, he'd just start furiously masturbating. Because we went to school in Arkansas. There wasn't no separate school for retarded kids. If you're retarded, you get in there and mix it up.
Right. Let's be honest. There was probably a time where your parents weren't sure about you either.
Of course, you kidding me? That's how I got tested. How do you know this about me?
Really?
Yeah, I got tested because I refused to do homework. I thought it was trying to keep me down. All right, and so I wouldn't do it. And they were like, "Why aren't you doing it?" Because it's stupid. All right, and they tested me to see if I was retarded, and it turned out I had a really high IQ,
Right.
and
Yeah,
that's how I
see?
got into the University of Arkansas.
Wow.
I got identified. That's crazy that you said
That you asked that. I mean, you're touching on all these raw
I mean,
nerves.
man, this
Crazy.
is like you read my book before it's out. Okay, it's so funny. Rusty. Okay, I did this one time. Okay, if I'm going to hell, this is what I'm going to hell for. All right, it was a beautiful late Indian summer day. It was about 95 degrees in late September on a Tuesday, and me and my buddies, I had a styrofoam ice chest with like 2 4-packs of wine coolers, all right, and a 12-pack of beer. You know, wine coolers were go juice for chicks back in the late 80s. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, and I wanted to go to the lake, right, and get out of class. And so what I did was we faked a test for Rusty Dugan when he came in. We're like, "Have you studied for that test?" He's like, "No." Miss Ushery said, "If one of us fails, we all fail." Oh God! Oh, and he starts shaking back and forth. And when he starts pulling on his thing, that's when you knew. Put your books away. Put the books away, because it was T minus 3, 2, 1. All right, and I don't know if you've ever been around any retarded people masturbating. They once they start, that train's left the station. You know what I mean?
They don't stop.
There ain't no stopping.
No.
All right, and that's why they'd hit that alarm and get all the little Baptist girls out of there. That's what it was.
That is funny, man.
Now you grew up in Arkansas, of course,
Yeah.
the home of the Clintons.
Oh yeah.
And you like Hillary Clinton, right?
I did, and it's so weird. You know, I knew the Clintons from Bill Clinton showing up drunk at my granny's house.
Is that
my
right?
granny was a bigwig in the Democratic Party, and when he would go see the Hog games up in Fayetteville, Clarksville was in between Little Rock and Fayetteville, and he would stop in, and my granny would cook for him and state police guys. And, yeah.
So
no,
Bill Clinton banged your grandmother?
No.
Don't make that leap.
No, she
Don't make
wasn't
that
fat
leap.
enough for it.
Rusty
She wasn't
did.
fat
Rusty
enough. No, oh my God, Rusty, you filthy animal. I don't know if my granny could have took. I don't know if any granny could have taken that. Anyways, I did like Hillary. My daughter took this election really hard.
Yeah.
My daughter's 9,
yeah.
and she's like, "Daddy, I wanted Hillary to be the first woman president," and I'm like, "Baby, what if you're supposed to be the first woman president?"
Hey,
And she
that
goes,
was brilliant.
"You think I could be president, Daddy?" I go, "Sure, honey. You're smart. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're good with math. You read. You're kind to animals. You recycle. Honey, if you work hard and you really, really want to be president and you're willing to do a bunch of shady stuff, you can be president, okay? You gotta delete a bunch of stuff, break a lot of laws, okay?"
That's exactly
She's like,
right.
"Okay,
So,
Dad."
but your kids are nervous now. They think that we're in trouble, right? Like Donald Trump gonna have this place in trouble, basically.
Oh yeah, my kids are buying into the California hype. Okay, you know they're 7 and 9. You know they believe in fairies and stuff like that. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But
the teachers are scaring the hell out of the kids.
the teachers are making it worse.
Yeah.
You know, making it worse. You know, I think honestly the problem is I've never seen America A, this divided, and B, I'm a Democrat, and we as Democrats actually need to sack up. You know, grab our balls and realize, hey, we lost. take your lump.
Right.
Take your lump. Stop giving money to Jill Stein. That was the problem in the first place.
That's right. She caused Hillary.
She caused this mess in the first
Wisconsin
place.
and Michigan. Hillary would have won those two states if not for her.
Exactly. Okay, so, F that B. Okay, I'm done with her, that broad.
But here's the thing.
But also, Trump guys need to be a little better winners. It's like nobody knows how to be a good loser, and nobody right now is showing how they can be a good winner.
That's fair.
Republicans are getting so sensitive about this. They got so much sand in their giner about if you say anything against Trump, they're like, oh, that's horrible. And they storm out or scream or want to yell. It's like, sweet Jesus, all you got to do is go scoreboard. We win. Okay? You just act like you've been there.
You're right. Now, Trump's been a good winner, but there was this one guy on the Delta plane.
He won the election. He's calling it rigged. He won the rigged election.
Look who's he's appointing to these secretary positions, these cabinet positions.
Who?
Nikki Haley, Mitt Romney.
Nikki Haley as go over here to the east side and get free parking tickets. Okay, that's all she is. That bitch gets to park in New York everywhere. All right, that's all that means. And then who else?
She's a woman. Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. He's not Secretary of State.
Not yet, but he's having dinner with Trump tonight.
You know what? Then that shows me Donald Trump is a pussy. Okay. And Mitt Romney is a pussy.
How about this?
That's all that shows me. Is that's a meeting of pussy.
I have a good one for you. The silver lining is this.
That's like a Subaru car wreck.
Donald Trump is the first politically incorrect president. Now, you have a problem as a comedian being politically incorrect. You can't do college campuses. You were censored on the Tonight Show. They told you couldn't use the word midget, for example.
That's true. And I couldn't. I've been attacked by social justice. I mean, this year alone, I got 25,000 death threats from Native Americans for a joke I did in 2004.
Well, then you got to tell it.
2004.
Can you tell it now?
Well, it was taken out of context, and so they only heard me railing
they all are.
Kind of. I'm a comedian, waka, waka. All right, but I said, I was making fun of every group in America.
Okay, fair enough.
And so, thus, in being fair, I included Native Americans.
That's being fair, right?
Everybody gets some. Okay, they're getting it too. And I said, they're upset and they cry when we litter. But nobody was crying for me when I lost $10,000 at the Mohegan Sun Indian Casino. And by the way, their buffet had no corn. All right, out of all the disrespectful things in this world, Indian Casino buffet, no corn. I mean, Buffalo, I can see.
That's a slap
that's
in the
not
face.
for the masses, but corn's for everybody. You know what I mean?
And it's easy to put out there.
It's maize, baby. It's maize.
Exactly right.
I've been censored by this, but. I'm politically incorrect, but this is the difference between politically incorrect and grabbing women by the giner. Okay, that's a leap too far. All right, and I'm a filthy animal, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to have some truth time with you. I grabbed a girl by the giner in the 90s.
You did?
I did. I was drinking. We were flirting. It was late. And she said to her friend, I wish some guy just grabbed me by the hair and make out. I did. I grabbed her by the giner. She rolled on it. All right. I don't know about you, the rest of you boys, but that's a green light, right? Okay, that's a green light. That's what I don't know what I did. What you would do? I took my clothes off and let Jesus take the wheel. That's me. I let Jesus take the wheel. All right, I'm trying to let things be free here. All right, am I wrong? Am I being wrong?
No, I like that. That's good.
All right.
But she was your sister, though. That's
no.
Hey, listen. So we're running out of time. Actually,
this stinks.
Ralphie May.
I love it.
It sucks, but Ralphie May is going to be the Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night at 8 p.m. A Ralphie May Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night. It's hilarious, this guy. He's got so much stuff here.
Is your act mostly jokes or mostly what's going on in your life, that type of thing?
Stories, jokes.
So give us, before Bernard lets you go here, you got to give us one of your, that you can get away with on radio. Like, you can't say the C word.
Yeah.
Like Godfrey did last night. Give me a nice, dirty joke that's okay for radio.
Okay, this is one of my favorite jokes.
All right, here you go, Bernard.
That I do. I talk about, straight men, don't worry, gay guys don't want you.
Okay.
They're not recruiting. Okay? I've never heard this. Ralphie, I was at a bus stop and 4 gangster homos rolled up on me in a lower Prius. and 2 of them jumped out, gave me a full makeover. Another one cut my hair. The last one chugged my D like nobody's business. What? Oh, my God. Sweet Jesus. You going to go to the police? No, I'm going back to that bus stop. They're pretty good old boys. Real accommodating. I've never heard that in my life is what I'm saying.
And I don't think you will. Hey, that's
I don't
funny,
think
man.
so either.
Ralphie May, Westbury Music Fair tomorrow night.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
The Theater, Westbury.com, or call 516-334-0800. Thank you, Ralphie May, very much on the Bernie and Sid Show. Back after this.
77 WA.